But listen, also, their debate should not be the last word. I'm trying to debate Donald Trump again. I think he should debate again. The American people have a right to hear us discuss the issues. And as you say here in Las Vegas, I'm all in. I'm all in. Even if my opponent is ready to fold. So there you go.
Kamala Harris is in full panic mode after a vice presidential debate went terribly wrong for her side. J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, completely outshined Tim Walz, Harris's VP pick during the debate. Walz made a series of big mistakes, and one of the most shocking ones. Waltz actually said he was friends with school shooters, which left everyone stunned and confused. He tried to explain it later, but his explanation made things worse, instead of better.
We did this debate, and then I talked to the president afterwards, and we talked a little bit about, what actually happened, and, some of the points that I made, some of the points that Governor Walz made, and he made this observation. He said that Tim Walz said that he was friends with school shooters twice. And that's something I actually didn't notice, that Tim Walz had said that on the debate stage. And I said, did he really say that, sir? And he said, I'm telling you, man, go and watch the clips. He said he was friends with school shooters twice. And I said that was probably only the third or fourth dumbest comment Tim Walz made that night then. Because look, I got to be honest, I feel a little bad for Governor Walz. And the reason I feel bad for him is because he has to defend the indefensible. And that is the record of Kamala Harris.
Governor, you previously opposed an assault weapons ban, but only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA, I was an NRA guy for a long time. They used to teach gun safety.
Nevertheless, do you think Trump has to debate Harris one more time before Election Day?
Boris, I mean, that's obviously up to them. I mean, I know you're asking me my opinion here. The campaign needs to do what we need to do to win. It's really that simple. You cannot govern if you don't win.
Do you think he needs to debate her one more time to win?
I don't know. That's what's being calculated, right? I mean, the plan is to win. Now, if the plan is to accommodate to the Harris campaign, if that doesn't help us win, then no, we don't need that accommodation. President Trump makes himself extremely available, as does J.D. Boy, oh boy, at rallies he takes questions from anybody who's got one, as does President Trump. So I think the American people have a good understanding of who he is, and I think the Harris campaign is looking for another opportunity to express platitudes rather than engage in a real policy discussion. I mean, come on, you can admit yourself that the exposure she's given to the general public is far less than Trump Vance. I mean, for crying out loud, I thought Waltz was in witness protection for a few weeks before the debate.
She has done substantially fewer interviews, but it's interesting that you would argue that not doing another debate would actually benefit the Trump campaign. Nevertheless, Congressman Dan Muser, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for being with us.
Kamala Harris is now pushing for another debate with Donald Trump, hoping to fix the damage done by that debate disaster. She knows that her campaign is struggling to get its message out. And according to polls, a lot of undecided voters can't even name a single policy she's fighting for. That's not good at all for her campaign. Harris thinks another debate is her chance to turn things around, but the Some People argues that Trump has the upper hand here. He doesn't really need to debate her again. Some points out that Trump and J.D. Vance are already very well known, and many voters have already made up their minds about them. What's really interesting is how Trump is handling the situation. He responded to Harris's debate request by saying she only wants another debate because she lost so badly the first time. He's acting like he's the winner who doesn't need to give Harris a second chance. Many Trump supporter agrees with this strategy and suggests that Trump should hold his ground and refuse to give Harris what she wants. After all, the ball is in his court now, and he doesn't need to play by her rules.
Governor, you previously opposed an assault weapons ban, but only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA, I was an NRA guy for a long time. They used to teach gun safety. I'm of an age where my shotgun was in my car so I could pheasant hunt after football practice. That's not where we live today. And several things I want to mention on this is, talking about cities and where it's at, the number one where the most firearm deaths happen in Minnesota are rural suicides. And we have an epidemic of children getting guns and shooting themselves. And so we have, and we should look at all of the issues. making sure folks have health care and all that, but I want to be very careful. This idea of stigmatizing mental health, just because you have a mental health issue doesn't mean you're violent. And I think what we end up doing is we start looking for a scapegoat. Sometimes it just is the guns. It's just the guns.
Do you want to clarify the comments that you made about school shooters?
Yeah, and look, you got to see me. These folks know me. I'm super passionate about this. The question come up about school shooting, we're talking about everything except school shootings. And I sat as a member of Congress with the Sandy Hook parents, and it was a profound movement. David Hogg is a good friend of mine. You have seen me do this. I was talking about being people where there are school shooters, and I need to be more specific on that, but I am passionate about this. This one, for my wife and I, is just, as teachers, as parents, is so personal.
Another interesting thing is how Harris's campaign seems to be focusing too much on attacking Trump rather than offering real solutions or policies. This is why they're struggling. Trump's campaign, on the other hand, is painted as confident and in control. J.D. Vance's strong performance in the debate only reinforced that. Waltz's comment about being friends with school shooters has become a viral moment, something the Harris campaign surely didn't want. So what does all of this mean for the election? Some suggest that Harris needs to do a lot more to win over voters. She's not doing enough interviews, town halls, or anything that shows her real policies and plans. Some people are still mentioning a disastrous event she did with Oprah, which didn't help her campaign either. Meanwhile, Trump and Vance are taking questions at rallies and making themselves available to the public, which is helping their campaign appear more open and strong. Should Trump agree to another debate with Harris? My opinion is no. Trump doesn't need to give her another chance because his campaign is already in a strong position. Think about what you would tell Kamala Harris if they had the chance. Should she keep pushing for another debate? Or is it too late for her campaign to recover? If you enjoyed this breakdown and found it insightful, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We've got more videos coming your way that dive deep into the big moments shaping this election, and you won't want to miss them. Stay grateful, stay focused, and stay true.